Morning, church. We're still continuing with our series on with the book by Wayne Grudem, Christian Ethics, and we're still in chapter 14. Today we're going to close off the chapter, and next week we'll finish off. And the question we're answering today is, what are the advantages of public schools, Christian schools, and homeschooling? The first argument, obviously, argument is argument for sending children to a public school. And when Grudem says positive influence on others, the teaching of Jesus provides the basis. So some of us, the first time we hear about the Bible is in school. And for those who've studied at a public school like me, it was very interesting. When Grudem say you are the salt of the earth, so now we will read from Matthew 5, verses 13 to 16, which reads, you are the salt of the earth, but if salt has lost its taste, how shall its saltiness be restored? It is no longer good for anything except to be thrown out and trampled under the people's feet. You are the light of the world. A city set on a hill cannot be hidden. Nor do people light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a stand. And it gives light to all in the house. In the same way, let your light shine before others, so that they may see your good works and give glory to the Father who is in heaven. And he goes on to explain that public school is better education, and those who've been to public school, we know that. You learn a lot. Mostly it's from people from different cultures. There's a bit of bullying there for those who were bullied. The sports as well, and most of us were forced to play sport. You interacted with people from different cultures, and it was very interesting to experience that. Today I think I can speak 7 South African languages, and it's because of school. Yes, he continues to say the opportunities to develop stronger faith and stronger moral characters, like what I've just said, it shapes you because you learn a lot from different people and from different people from different circumstances, situations, and that's the interesting part of public school. So do not be ashamed of sending your children to a public school. Yeah, there's good education there, to be honest with you. There's good education. And he goes on to also speak about sending children to a Christian school. And he says, all of a child's education should be biblical-centered and God-centered. Then he quotes Ephesians 6:4, where he says, the Bible explicitly teaches how children should be trained. So for fathers, do not provoke your children to anger, but bring them up in the discipline and instruction of the Lord. And that's the nice thing about Christian schools, because you learn to be disciplined, you learn the word from an early age. And for those who've been to Christian schools, I think it's an advantage. The unfortunate part, in places like Tembisa and Gauteng, there's not a lot of Christian schools, but it's an advantage to take your child to a Christian school. And he continues to say, only God-centered education gives true wisdom. The reason we send children to school is that they might increase in wisdom, but Scripture is clear that genuine wisdom comes only in the context of the fear of God and submission to Christ. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. All those who practice it have a good understanding. His praise endures forever. That's Psalms 111, verse 10. The fear of the Lord is the beginning of wisdom, and the knowledge of the Holy One is insight. Proverbs 9, verse 10. So the last argument is homeschooling. So for those who are homeschooled, unfortunately, I was not homeschooled. I would have loved to not wake up 5 o'clock in the morning. The Bible assumes that parents are responsible to train their children. There's a school where I live. It's not far from where I stay, and it's actually a church. So they do homeschooling, and the advantage of that homeschooling, you can teach your child what you want your child to be. So meaning you can structure that, what you call this, lessons and education, even though it's school, but also what the child needs to learn in terms of life. Then the last point is finding our N1. That's from Expository Preaching Academy. So now navigating the N1, Jesus lived in the world, not isolated from it. He ate with tax collectors, engaged Pharisees, and taught in public places exemplified what it means to be a salt. We spoke about the salt. So he exemplified how to be a salt and light in a dark world. Just as public schools allow children to be a light amongst others, Jesus sent his disciples into the world not to be of it, but to be transformed by it. The gospel calls believers to engage culture, not escape it. Jesus' incarnation itself is a form of entering a public arena. He took on flesh and lived amongst sinners so that by his light others may be saved. Jesus valued wisdom, knowledge, truth, even as a child. He was found in the temple learning and asking questions. He didn't shy away from knowledge, even when it came from outside his immediate religious or family cycle. The gospel doesn't reject knowledge, but it redeems it. All truth is God's truth. Quality education, even when secular, can become a tool in God's hands when used with discernment and purpose. Thank you. Next, I will call Pastor Moore for